with Herman and Sharron.
All right.
Yes, it is.
Leaving our palatial manner.
Manish manner.
Manner.
Yes.
So what did you think about the remodeling job we did?
I didn't know you did a remodeling job.
You're supposed to say, oh, it's nice.
Oh, it's really nice,
Yeah,
but I
what
didn't
do you-
notice it.
What do you think of the mountains? You like them?
Well, not as much as you do. I like them. They're pretty, but you know.
I love mountains. And guess where I live? Florida.
Yeah, that's right. Although I went to Mount Dora, and
In Florida.
and
Yeah.
it's supposed to have mountain, Mount
Yeah,
Dora.
Mount Dora.
And I think the highest one was like 184
Feet?
feet or something like that.
Inches.
If it's that
I
much.
think it was more like inches, honey.
Inches, yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
We have a good-looking couple today.
Yes.
Really. Mm-hmm.
They're happy.
And
Happy to be together.
and do you know
She's
what?
got a long name, doesn't she?
Yeah, I know.
I was looking at her name. It's
I know.
quite long.
It just keeps going.
I know.
His name is Kevin, and her name is Heather. And you know where they met, Sharron?
Should I say?
Yeah,
Or you say?
Christian Mingle.
Mingo.com.
We are going to give you an
I've
example.
always wondered.
Yes.
I always wanted to meet a couple that met on
I've seen
there.
the. Have you seen the videos that they have? You know, the
Yeah.
couples they're walking together and they're just like this, and it's like, and
I
I'm
know.
going, that's just show. We actually have two that went on Christian Mingle, and here they are.
That's right. Come
Right
on
there.
in.
Come on in. Come on. Look at
Kevin
them.
and Heather.
Yes.
Thank
Good to have you. Good to have you, buddy.
Hello.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to
Have a
meet you.
seat
Good
right
to be
there.
here.
Thank you.
Heather, you can
Have
sit
a
right
seat.
here.
Oh, wonderful.
And they're going to bring breakfast in just a moment. So
Bacon and eggs.
I forgot. She was on 7 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're going to shoot her from right there, honey. Okay. She was on 7 years ago, and when we were praying in the green room, all of a sudden I remembered that laugh that she has, which is really unique. And I remember, but you lost your first husband, right?
Yes.
And it was a brain.
Brain tumor. Yes, it was glioblastoma.
So when you were on with him, you had no clue.
No, we didn't have any idea. He died
Have a
later
seat,
that
Herman.
year.
Really?
He died later that year.
My goodness.
Yeah.
And I know, because I think after a time we look back at it, and because Linda, my assistant,
Yes.
she said, and I said, I got to see that video again. And there he was, just as
Right.
strong. And,
Right, normal. Everything is fine. Yeah.
Isn't it
It
amazing?
happens fast, doesn't
I
it?
know. When it's your time, when
And-
God's ready for you.
And then.
All right, now I want to
Okay,
ask.
I'm going to give you that in case I get you crying.
I want to ask a question.
Okay.
Was there any fear when you both went on Christian Mingle?
Good
was there
question.
any fear that you would meet somebody that was like a stalker or something, or give you
You know-
trouble?
Pardon me? A what?
Yeah. Because if that's what I am, I'd like to know.
I'm going to ask Heather that question.
Yeah, it's sort of like meeting anywhere, like meeting at church or anything like that. And it's, you can meet creeps. hate to
Well,
say
you're
it,
right,
but
you're right.
You can meet the wrong person anywhere.
Yeah.
So, it's just nice with Christian Mingle. At least you have one thing that you know that you have in common,
That's true.
And I gave you some advice, didn't I?
You did. You did.
Because I mean, this.
You did?
pretty-
You gave her advice?
This pretty lady, that she definitely wasn't on welfare.
Right.
Okay.
But I was widowed.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was widowed.
And
Yeah.
so I thought, you know what? If you got the wrong one,
Which I did.
it would
Right.
destroy your whole life.
Right. I was dating the wrong one for a while.
Yeah.
But that was kind of good because then the timing was perfect for me to meet Kevin.
Now, yeah, okay. He walks. Where were you when you first set up the meeting?
Do you want to tell them?
When we first,
Met-
Okay. In
How
other
we
words,
met?
Well, we
in other
started
words, you were started on the
Yeah.
computer first.
Yeah,
And you
yeah.
had your pictures.
yeah,
Yep.
Okay.
a
Just
little
the pictures.
bio.
Okay, a little bit. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And so you saw all of that, and then you had to set up a meeting, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Where was it set up?
Well, restaurant
Let's
was
see,
that?
we
The
went
Banana
to
Boat.
Banana Boat, yeah,
Banana
in
Boat.
Boynton Beach.
In Boynton Beach.
And
I
the-
drove down to meet her because I live in Jupiter.
Right.
She lived in Boynton Beach.
Okay.
And we met up there.
Okay,
And
now-
we hit it off
Okay,
But,
so-
immediately.
but the thing is
Well,
that,
it'd be hard to not hit it off with her. 'Cause-
Well, we had a lot more in common than we
Wow.
had known just
Okay,
communicating
I
on
want to
the-
know how it
Right.
felt. I mean, you're walking, you haven't seen her in person, right?
well, thanks to you, he had, because the video was on YouTube. And so he searched on,
That's
he used
not
my
fair.
username.
smart.
Yeah, her
He
username
is
I
smart.
figured was her last name.
Which it was.
And I did a little digging.
Good for you.
Yeah, and then I found the video here.
Compatibility book.
But that
Grattan.
wasn't in person though.
No,
Okay, a video
that
is
was
not.
before he
okay.
even
Right.
said anything
Okay.
to me.
Yeah.
He saw the video.
So were you there first in the restaurant, or was he first?
Oh, we met each other at the restaurant. Well, actually, we
No,
met.
I came over to your house.
Yeah, and we drove there together.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so it was at my house.
So
Yeah.
So you rang the doorbell,
Yep.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
and she, and so she opened the door.
She opened the door.
She
Yeah.
opened the door.
Okay. What was that like? What was that like?
Oh, it just took my breath away.
He's saying what he should say on TV.
She came to the door and started laughing.
Are you
And I
se-
go,
just like
that
this?
must be a good thing. No, I don't know.
I wouldn't doubt it because she
But I-
laughs. I mean, she laughs all the time.
I think she did. She started laughing.
So did
Well,
you?
you probably
I just
said
melted
something.
at
So
that
did you
point.
do like this? My name is.
Are you going to tell them
yeah.
the truth? He told me beforehand in the email that he was just going to kiss me, and he just planted one on me.
At the
Wow.
door?
Yes.
Are you
Yes.
serious?
I'm not kidding.
Right on the
Yes,
lips?
Yes.
Not on the cheek?
No, not on the cheek. He
What
just
did you-
planted it on
What did
me.
you do?
I kissed back.
She fought back.
She fought
Bite
back.
it. I didn't bite it.
Now that is really.
Boy, you.
That is good.
You are a gutsy guy. I mean, did you? I mean, she could have slapped you.
He warned
She
me.
knew it was
though.
coming. I
He
had
warned me.
permission.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I had permission beforehand.
Now, you have a pit bull, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
Pitbull and a Bichon,
Okay.
which they're
okay.
sisters now.
Okay, but that pit bull could have taken him out.
Well, we were at my house, so the Bichon wouldn't have done anything.
Oh, no, I mean, but you have a pit bull at your house?
No, he had
He had
the
the
pit
pit
bull.
bull. Yeah, my dog.
He had the pit bull. I had the
your,
Bichon.
you have a pit
But the
bull?
Bichon's the one you got to worry about.
the ankle biter.
The pit
Ankle
bull's an
biter.
ambassador for the breed.
Yeah,
The most
she is. She's a
best
good dog.
disposition
Okay,
I've seen.
okay, Kevin. People are dying around here, killed by their pit bull. Do you read the papers?
Yeah.
Okay, people that own pit bulls do not believe that they'll bite your face off and that they'll
Right.
eat little kids. So, and I suppose you don't believe that.
You have to be careful with
they
children.
can. They're a strong dog. It's how you bring them up. Good
Right.
dogs.
Right.
Dogs are good unless there's something mentally wrong.
But I think
It's bad
I think
people.
all pit bulls have a mental problem, don't they?
Herman,
No,
you need to get off the pit
not
bulls,
Jiggy.
please.
Not
No, Jigsaw doesn't.
No.
Really, I mean,
See, she loves him too.
it's a purebred.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I,
He's a
I'm,
nice
I'm
dog.
told never make eye contact with a pit bull.
We do all the time.
Yeah. He controls her, and she knows that he's in control. And in fact, she won't even push a door open, even if it's kind of a little bit ajar. Jigsaw has been trained so well that she won't puch the door open.
So,
all the
so
way
if I
open.
walk,
She'll
if,
wait.
Ketchup will,
So
but
if I
Bichon will.
if I walked in your house, the only reason I talk about this is because at 8 years old I was
Yeah.
attacked by a dog. I love dogs, and I still even to this day. But to this day,
But it wasn't a pit bull. It was
no,
a German Shepherd.
to this
Okay.
day, big dog, ooh, ooh, that kind
Yeah.
of sound. I
Fear,
freeze.
the fear.
And when dogs know you're afraid of them, like a
Yeah.
pit bull,
Yeah.
they
yeah.
will eat you.
Well, Jigsaw won't eat you.
No.
You can come over and Jigsaw won't do anything.
All right. But you have a pit bull, a Bichon, and what are their names?
Jigsaw and Ketchup.
Jig.
Well, see, because my previous Bichon, who lived to be 17, she was mustard.
Now I love Bichons.
I know, I know.
I can
know
live
you
with a
guys have the
Bichon.
little dogs,
Yes,
don't you?
yes.
Yeah, and so she was Mustard the Bichon. So then when she died, then what are you going to name the next one? You have to name her Ketchup.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
she's Ketchup.
Oh, that is neat. That is neat. You are a journalist and
Yeah.
a very, very smart lady. I mean, you've authored several books, and you were diagnosed in 2000
Right.
with MS.
Right.
And actually, your book is almost like a medical journal, because you're literally telling people that have MS, even down to the blood type. My good close friend,
Joe
Cristiano, Dr.
Yes.
Cristiano, he wrote a book on blood types.
Yes.
And you're really a proponent of that, aren't
Right,
you?
right.
How did that help you?
Right. That's where I think the key is missing for people who have MS who are in bad shape and getting worse, is I think that they're eating the wrong things. And it's funny, you're type A and you're type A, you're type B and I'm type B.
Yeah.
Is that we match?
Are you A?
Yeah, he's A. I tested him. He thought he was O, but I tested him.
And
he's
are you a middle child or only child?
Oldest, just
yeah,
like
he's
her.
First. Yeah,
I'm the
we're
oldest
First
too.
child.
Are you? Yeah.
Wow. Now I would be considered middle.
Middle.
Yes.
So we want to get into that
Virtual
because she wrote a book
firstborn.
about Donald Trump too. We're not.
Right,
we're not. I mean, this is well done.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Have
you.
you ever given him one of these?
I've tried. Yeah, I have. I don't know if he read it.
He would love this.
Yes.
I'm telling
I
you.
know he would.
But I mean,
I
it's
know he
not.
would.
It's not puffy. But you
Right.
just have a lot of great.
So you feel it's really helped you just to eat for your body or for your blood type.
Yeah, it's funny because when I found the blood type diet, but that was before I was diagnosed. When I was on the diet, I first thought, because the diet says, oh, people with the B blood type tend to be susceptible to autoimmune conditions like MS and lupus and Lou Gehrig's disease. And a year earlier, when I was 25, I had been told that I might have, MS because I had optic neuritis. I had partial blindness in the center of my vision. And nowadays, with what they know, I would have been given a preliminary diagnosis in 1996 when I was 25.
Would that have helped?
Because of the optic neuritis.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I'm fine now, but I mean, I wouldn't have gone through the numbness that I had 4 years later if I had been on a medication, and that would have been nice. That's why it takes a buck, because I do believe in, doing the real medication and the holistic and
yeah.
combining them all and the supplements and
So
everything.
type B blood, more susceptible to MS.
Right.
Now that's funny because I always thought type A was, because I deal with autoimmune and things like
And
that. And I
lupus.
always
Yeah.
heard that type A was the one.
Yeah, well, autoimmune, type A's can get autoimmune, like really bad arthritis and other things like that. But as far as MS,
Oh, really?
we're more susceptible.
Okay.
But, like I say in there, I had scarlet fever when I was 6. And I think that, and my neurologist doesn't think that was a cause, but I think that if you're susceptible to scarlet fever, you're probably susceptible to MS.
Yeah.
Because I've heard other people who have MS who have had scarlet fever. And who gets scarlet fever? It's very
yeah,
uncommon.
very few, yeah.
Now you stress is a big deal, right, with MS? Mm-hmm. So he better not give you stress.
Never.
Cool.
Strict orders.
Look at him.
Yeah.
Look at how calm, cool,
I
and
know,
collected
I know.
he is.
He kind of has that star look. Yeah. But so how do you know stress is hitting you? Because everybody says stress, but yeah, and I try to keep her stress down. Except married to me is like hell. Okay, just to
I'm
put
sure
it
she
mildly.
would disagree.
Yeah, but so how do you know you're in a stressful situation?
I can feel it, and I can also kind of predict when I'm going to be in a situation that's going to make me feel stressed. Then I do take a little bit of a Xanax. Xanax are very small pills. I was prescribed that back when a relative of mine was about to go to jail, and I was so stressed out about it.
A relative of yours.
Yeah.
Okay. He didn't do anything to you, did he?
She's found Jesus Christ,
Oh,
and she's
okay.
great now, and she's
Wow.
going to seminary in Orlando.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh, that's
my
great. That's
sister.
great.
Your sister?
Yes, my sister. Yeah, she would be glad that I'm telling you that.
Well-
But she went through addictions for years, and then she found Jesus Christ, and now
that's
she's becoming a Christian addictions counselor. So she's going to seminary in Orlando.
Well, you got to
That's
be proud of
great.
her.
Oh,
Yeah.
we are.
Is she like you, giggly?
I'm more giggly than she is. I think she would say she makes me laugh.
Do you look alike?
She's like him. She's a female version of him. I say I married my sister.
Really? Well, that's you're good buddies, right? So okay, so I gotta watch. I get her laughing, and it's all over. It's finished.
It's all over.
Better making it now or show.
Yeah. Okay. Now Xanax can be very addictive, right?
Yeah, if you're the kind of person who gets addicted, then I wouldn't recommend Xanax or anything like that, but your doctor will tell you.
Does it calm you?
Yeah, I mean, my doctor told me to cut it into quarters, and my dad is the same way. Just a quarter of a Xanax is enough just to take the edge off of the stress. And that's just enough. And then I don't get like, when that was happening, when she was about to go to jail, the bottom of my feet went numb, and they were numb for about a month. And it's really awkward driving when your feet are numb because you can't feel the pedals. You can feel the pressure. You have to rely on the feeling
So
of
are
the
you
pressure.
knowing this is MS? Hitting you strong?
That was one of the exacerbations I had. But that was before I had the prescription of the Xanax that I knew about. If I would have had that, I probably wouldn't have had the numbness in my feet.
Wow. Now you say very important. MS has to have a lot of sleep, right?
Yes, yeah. And I try to say, at least try to get at least 6.5. And some people say, well, that's too little. Well, you know what? Try to make a goal of at least 6.5. You'll do fine if you're 6.5. It's good if you do better. I sleep in, Kevin knows I sleep in on Saturdays. I let myself sleep in a lot on Saturdays.
Are you an early riser or she?
Early, me.
You're
Yeah,
early.
he's early. Yeah, and I'm a night owl, but.
For some reason, that works that way in married couples. I don't know
Isn't
why.
that funny?
Yeah,
But
it
I've
does.
trained myself.
He's more of a night owl. I'm more of a
But I get up.
morning
I mean,
person.
like this morning, I got up at 5 or 4:45. I get up every morning at 5. So I've trained myself because of doing TV.
Yeah, the show.
And reading the books, all that stuff.
Right.
So I've flipped it. But whenever I get a weekend, then the real me
Then you
comes
sleep.
out. Yeah. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, wow, this is pretty nice. Yeah. But okay, so how do you then get 6 hours? I mean, it's pretty hard, right?
Yeah, I usually get at least 6 every night during the week, and then I make it up on Saturday mornings and on in the afternoons on Saturday and Sundays I take a nap.
Now, doesn't MS, I know with certain autoimmune, you go in remission for a while.
You
so
can.
would you?
You
So
can.
would you say you're now in a kind of a remission type?
Oh
or-
yeah.
Have you ever
And-
been prayed over for healing?
Oh, so many people have prayed for me. Yes,
Yeah.
I would say yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and I'm a big believer in prayer, especially because seeing my sister too. I mean, everybody's been praying for her for all
Yes,
these
yeah.
years.
I've got an
so-
interview tomorrow, and this woman thinks nobody should ever be sick, and I can't wait to talk to her. But a lot of people until a big deal sickness hits you,
Right.
and then all of a sudden it's a wake up call. So did when you were prayed for healing, had somebody pray over you? Did you?
You know, at first I thought I was healed, and then when I was diagnosed, I thought, okay, God isn't really finished teaching me this lesson yet. And then when I was on the
So
medication,
what lesson?
well, it's humbling, isn't it?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not like, I mean, and if you think about it, as we get older, we get more and more illnesses. So we don't
Exactly.
get less, even though we're spiritually getting stronger.
I wish I had you here for tomorrow.
What
For a
she's
debate?
saying, what she just
for
said,
sitting next to
listen,
this- but-
what she just said was, and that was so good, people don't understand that when illness hits you, it is a humbling experience.
is, it
because
is.
you realize all of a sudden I'm not in control.
Right.
You know?
Right.
That this now is controlling my body.
Right.
So, yeah, and it, in some ways, it might be a good thing for you that
Exactly.
you're not in control of your life
Right.
like you think you are.
And
Right.
she has an aneurysm right in her heart.
Oh.
And so it's it's like tick 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 tick, and but at our age it's always tick 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 tick. But okay, and also you have to have if you
in
get
the world.
overheated, you have to
Yeah.
have cold drink,
Yes.
right?
Sometimes I'm even sitting here holding it with both of my hands just so the coldness of the water is more, or whatever the
Oh, wow.
drink is.
Really?
It cools me off, yeah.
So it
He's seen me do that.
so what is that? I mean, it actually lowers your
yeah.
temp?
Especially when you drink a cold drink. And that's what my neurologist told me, Dr. Feinberg told me, it cools you from the inside. So he said, if you're going to be going to a football game outdoors or something, you know, have a cold drink to keep yourself cool on the inside. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay,
That's interesting.
So
Yeah.
you follow your blood type when you're in a restaurant?
Oh, always. I have followed the blood type diet for 21 years. Yes, very strictly.
Now, actually, B is much better is what you can eat than A. You and I are pretty much chicken and turkey. That's
right,
it, you know?
Right, and fruits and vegetables.
Yeah, right.
But you
It's very
metabolize fruits and vegetables
restrictive.
better. Yeah.
So I don't think you're following the A, are you?
Well,
No.
part of it,
He's the kind of guy that goes
I
in a
know
restaurant.
he looks like he wants a steak.
I,
every
I,
now
can,
and then.
I can just see him, give me meatloaf with a lot of gravy and mashed potatoes.
yes.
And he'll down that baby and not even get a heartburn.
I know.
True.
And
Right?
he always says, my brother's
Yes.
that. My brother can eat anything.
I
and
just,
no problem.
I watch her brother doing that very thing I just described, and I'll sit there and I'll say, "So how you feel?" I feel great. I mean, the plate is clean.
Because he'd have to have an Alka-Seltzer
Oh, yeah.
by the time he's got done eating.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
But so food is a good deal for you.
Oh, yeah, it's a fabulous deal.
He's a great chef,
Yeah,
too.
yeah, I like
He's a
grilling.
great
Really?
Yeah,
chef.
cooking out in the grill, making nice
Yeah.
steak. Oh,
Now
yeah.
you look
Yes.
like the type.
Pardon me?
You look like the type.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
could stand at
I
that grill
enjoy
and
it.
flip those steaks.
Yeah.
Yes,
Do you
that's what he's
fish?
good at.
Pardon me?
Do you fish?
I haven't in a long time, but I used to fish, yeah.
He doesn't like fish. He
I don't
only
eat
likes
fish.
tuna fish.
People would take me out fishing on their boats because I'd always give them the fish. And I was lucky
Yeah.
I caught a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I like
fun.
fishing, but I don't like fish.
You don't like to eat the fish.
What do you like about Heather the most?
That's a tough
You have to
one.
pick one.
I've
Pick
got to.
one.
Well, I mean, you don't have to.
Just hopping all over the place today.
I love her infectious laugh.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's contagious, isn't it? So,
Well, I'm glad you found each other.
Yes, we are too.
your book literally is an encyclopedia for people that have MS
Thank
and what they
you.
should do because you've actually walked this journey.
Yes. Well, and I developed that system, I would say within the first year or so after I was diagnosed in October of 2000. And I thought, okay, if this works, I'm going to wait until about 15 years, until about 15 years, and then I'll start working on writing this book and to share it with everybody because I shouldn't hold it to myself because I thought the blood type diet is kind of the key that other people don't understand. They know about staying cool, but also it's also just being really strict about it. I mean, some people who have MS will go outside, and I hate to say it, but they shouldn't have run-a-thons, these marathons and bike-a-thons. That's out in the heat. I mean, maybe if you're up north, that'd be great, but people with MS shouldn't be out there in the heat. I mean, if you're drinking, but I've seen them not be very strict with themselves, and then they're just going to make themselves get worse and worse, just very slightly.
Now, why is it
slightly
some
worse.
with MS are in wheelchairs?
Well, I mean, I have seen that people who aren't following the diet the way that they should.
Yeah.
And also and the stress levels. But John Schuff, who wrote the foreword, he's been in a wheelchair since he was 40.
MS?
With the MS, when he collapsed on the golf range right in front of his wife, and he was 40, and he told me that in 1975, when he was diagnosed, when he was 35, that he was told to follow a gluten-free diet. And he said, and now that he said, I've read your stuff, this stuff about the blood type thing, because he says he's type O. He said, maybe if I would have followed that, maybe
Yeah.
I would have done better,
Yeah.
So, but the thing is trying it and then just sticking with it. And that's what's so hard.
And you say multivitamins is a no.
No, because we shouldn't have B6 and some of the other things that are immune system enhancing or boosting. We don't want to boost it. Everybody else can boost it. That's fine. But we shouldn't be boosting it. It's already kind of boosted a little bit.
So MS is actually,
much.
you have an overactive.
Yeah, in a way.
Immune system.
In a way. Right. So you don't want to boost it. So I have to take lots of individual ones.
Yeah.
Right.
She takes, when she flies, she takes snack packs
Yeah.
of chocolate pudding, and she got patted down.
Wow.
It's in the book.
Yeah. And so you, so you explained,
For my snack packs.
I've got MS.
Well, that's excessive. I'm like, it's snack pack. Like,
You had too many,
I
right?
had too many snack packs. And they said, well, they talked about it among themselves. And they said, well, if you agree to a pat down, then we'll let you keep them all. And I said, yeah, you can do whatever you want. So they patted me down and they let me keep my snack packs.
Oh my goodness, that's crazy.
It is, but this is so easy. You're a great writer.
Thank you.
I've got to give you a tip off. In fact, Dave, I think Dave has yeah, there they are on the screen. Get to her website and then order one of these, especially the one on Trump. Now, the other one is Charles.
That one's a Bible study.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a Bible study.
Krauthammer. Yeah.
Yeah, he's no longer with us.
He's
Yes.
brilliant, like you. And so, but I mean, this one on Trump. I've read a lot of stuff on Trump. This is small, but I mean, you pack more into this than the books I've read.
He's a middle child, huh?
That's awesome.
Yeah, he's a middle child, right?
Yes.
And you explain. I guess I would be middle.
Most middle child is what?
Well, see, most of our presidents have been firstborns, and firstborns, are like, we're all firstborns. And you see, and we can smile at the drop of a hat. Take our picture, we have a perfect smile, But the middle children have, there's almost a humbleness that's almost hard to define. There you are, the middle child. And that's what we really needed in 2016 and now, is we need somebody who's going to bring everybody together. I would argue that that's a big reason why he can get away with so much, is because he's a middle child. And there's something about you, right?
Yeah, I know. I'll say this happens all. I'll say things to people, and we'll be riding
That's true.
in the car, and she'll go.
She-
She'll go. I cannot believe you said
You
that.
got
I say-
away with it.
And I'll say, what did I say?
That part he's like Trump, yes. He says things and it just blows my mind. It's like,
But I never realized it's because I'm a middle child. so Pence is a middle child, right?
Yes. So he'll be perfect after 8 years of Trump.
Isn't
Listen to her.
But you point. I mean, yours is like. This is not kidding. This is factual.
It is.
It is wonderful.
Everything's factual. And I met him, and he met him, and so our little stories are in there.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And you actually tapped him on the back, didn't you?
I did. I would even be able to remind him of how I met him. I would say, I tapped you on the back and you spun around, and I told you my dad was pastor of Lakeside Presbyterian Church in West Palm Beach.
And it's where his parents
And he
went.
said, yeah, I met him. I met his parents. Not him. Well, I met him later, but I met his parents at church.
oh, that's
2
great.
Easters in a row.
Isn't that neat?
That
Yep.
is, that is.
It's fun to have you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And thanks for coming with her.
Well, you're welcome.
Christian
good to be
Mingle.
here.
Christian Mingle has just taken off in stock right now.
Let's hope.
Yeah.
It worked for us.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, that's great.
And we'll have you back to make sure it works 5 years, 10 years. Open the Word of God. Read at least 2 chapters today. Would you do that?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ is the answer to every need you may have. Bye-bye.